photoreceptor cells of the eyeball, and we'll see one by one. Photoreceptor cells. So photoreceptor cells are the very important cells in the eyeball, and they are responsible for this mechanism, photoreceptor mechanism. So vertebrates, in case of vertebrates, they have two kinds of photoreceptor cells. They are called as rod cells and cone cells of their distinctive shapes. They are called as rod and cone cells. Cone cells, they function in bright light, whereas rod cells will function in dim light. Cone cells are responsible for color vision, but if you take rod cells, they are not for color vision, but they will function for light and dark contrast, because they function in dim light but do not perceive color. So a human retina, which contains about 3 million cones, 3 million cone cells and 100 million rod cells. So naturally the number of rod cells is greater than the number of cone cells. You can see that those receptor cells on the retina of the eye, this is the entire retina region, enlarged retina portion. Here you can see that two types of cells are there. This one is cone cell, the violet one is cone cell, the green color one is rod cell. They are distributed throughout the retina. Here throughout the retina, here it is distributed. So currently, if you speak, there are three known types of photoreceptor cells present in your eyes, that is especially in mammalian eyes. Already I mentioned about rod cells and cone cells. Apart from that, one more is there. And intrinsically, photosensitive retinal cells are there. Third type, they are called ganglion cells. So two classic photoreceptor cells are rod and cones. Each one is contributing information used by the visual system to form a representation of the visual world or your eyesight. So for eyesight in the visual system, two cells are responsible, rods and cones. So all these three layers, third one is ganglion layer. Third, all the three layers of the cells, from the photoreceptors to the optic nerve, is very, very important one. So these are the photoreceptors. That is, all the three are the photoreceptors themselves at the rear of the retina. They are present on the retina near the bipolar cells, and finally these ganglion cells, they are present at the backside of the retina, whose axons make up the optic nerve. So these ganglion cells, the backside of the ganglion, tail of the ganglion cells are actually going to form the optic neuron, optic nerve. Here you can see that photoreceptors on the retina. This is the enlarged portion or microscopic anatomy of the retina. So that enlarged portion of the retina, actually inner side of the retina, light from the eyeball lens comes here. The yellow color one is light. It falls on the retina. So first layer is there, and that layer is called ganglion cells. They will receive the light energy. These are all the ganglion cells. After that you have bipolar cells. Ganglion cells layer followed by bipolar cells. In between bipolar and ganglion you have amecrine cells. One or two amecrine cells are there in between. Then here next layer starts, that is cone cells and rod cells layer. That is the receptor layer. Cone cells are placed in between the rod cells. See, you have several rods, in between that one or two cone cells are there. Rod cells, cone cells. And between these two layers you have horizontal cells. Then the last layer is pigmented cells layer. pigmented cell side. This goes to the optic nerve. This is the anatomy of the retina. So human eye has over than 100 million rod cells, and these cones, they require a lot more light than the rod cells, because rod cells even work in dim light, and they are used to see color. Which one? Cone cells. That is why they need more light. So we have three types of cone cells. In cone cells you have three types. The basic three colors of the VGR: blue, green and red. These three cones are basic colors of the VGR. So they can differentiate all the 7 colors of your VGR using these three basic cones. So the human eye only has about 6 million cones, 100 million rods are there. So the receptors are the sensitive elements. These receptors, where rods and cones are there, they will absorb light energy and start the electrophysiological process that sends visual signals. The signal means electrical signal to the brain center. So the rods and cones are not evenly distributed across the retina. Most of the cone cells are in the foves also, the fovea of the retina. In the very center of the fovea, there are very few rod cells, but cone cells are more in fovea. So these cone cells, they are the photoreceptor cells in the retinas of the vertebrate eyes, even in our human eye. So they respond differently to light energy of different wavelengths because they have three basic codes. So thus they are responsible for color vision and function best in relatively bright light as opposed to rod cells. Rod cells, they work better in dim light. Here you can see photoreceptors function. So the retina, from retina it comes to ganglion cells, and these cells, then rods and cones are triggered. This is rod and this is cone, photoreceptors. After that the electrical signal is converted into, that is light energy is converted to electrical energy that goes to optic nerve. From there the electrical impulse is taken to the brain center, where in the brain center, vision center of the brain, your image on this retina is recognized and understood by the brain. You can see that the entire portion of the receptor cell layers. This is there in the retina here. This is pigment epithelium cells. Then melanin granules are there here and there. Discs are there. Mitochondria is there inside the cells. Golgi apparatus is there inside the cells. Green color one is cone cells. Ganglion cell. Then nuclei of the cells are there. These are all the nuclei. Connecting stalk is there here. That is flowers are there. Then you have rod and cone. This is rod. When light falls here, ganglion cells take the cells, the bipolar cells, and from there it goes to rod cells. So the same thing is here. Next picture, choroid portion, pigment epithelium, flats and cones. This area of this rod and cone region is here. Rods and cone region. Then bipolar cell region, ganglion cell region, optic nerve axons. That is, axons are going back to the brain center. Optic nerve axons. Now we are coming to the anatomy of rod cells and cone cells. They vary slightly, rod and cone. Rod and cone photoreceptors are found on the outermost layer of the retina. They both have the same basic structure but slightly differs. Closest to the visual field, it is the axonal terminal. Axonal terminal is closest to the visual field, which releases a neurotransmitter called glutamate to the bipolar cells. Farther back is the cell body of these cells, which contains the cells organelles like Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, like that. Farther back still it is the inner segment of the rods and cones. It is a specialized part of the cell full of mitochondria in the inner segment of the rods and cones. See the enlarged portion of rod cell and cone cell, the structure of rods and cones. This is rod cell. Synapse here, myoid is there, nucleus is there. This side cone cell is there. Both are having same structure but slightly they differ. Components are same. Synapse is there in both the area. Myoid is there in both the area. Nucleus is there in both the area. Mitochondria is there in both the area. This is the inner segment of rod, inner segment of cone. These two are outer segment. Outer segment only differs from each cells. Inner segment is having same. Connecting cilium is connecting outer and inner segment. Here also outer. Okay. So here see that both the rod and cone cells are having inner segment and outer segment. Inner segment both are having same picture, same arrangement. No change in that. See both the side rod. This side rod is there. This is cone cell. These two are synapse, both the cells. These two are myoid, both the cells. Nucleus is there in both the cells in this area. This is entirely inner segment. Mitochondria is there in both the area. This is the inner segment. Then this is the connecting cilium which connects outer and inner segment in both the area. But when you come to the structure of the outer segment, where they differ. See the shape of the outer segment is looking like a rod here. That is why it is called rod cell. It is looking like a cone shape. That is why it is called cone cell. So both are having lamellae in this rod and cone shape. This is called the entire outer segment. So light is coming from the eyeball lens. It passes through this inner segment, goes to the outer segment. This is the direction of light. See that enlarged portion of the outer segment of the rod cell. This portion is enlarged here. Inside, what is there inside? See the connecting cilium. This is the outer segment. This is the entire rod portion enlarged. Inside that, lamellar particles are there. Free floating discs are there. These are all the discs. Ciliary fibrils are there. Limiting membranes are there. Folding of outer cell membrane is like this, connecting cilium. So this is a large portion of the rod. Same thing is there in the cone also, but shape differs. And here you can see that retina, backside the retina, you are having rods and cones layer, the pigment layer, photoreceptor layer, and that is here enlarged here. So direction of light is in this direction. You see that rods and cones. This is cone, rod, and the ganglion cells. Other cells, ganglion cell is there. In between that you are having other cells, and bipolar cells are there. So entire this region is enlarged. So the main function or chief function of the inner segment of both and rod is very, very important one. That they provide ATP, because in the inner segment only mitochondria is there. So mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, which provide ATP, that's energy for the sodium potassium pump. So finally, closest to the brain is the outer segment. Outer segment is the backside of the retina, towards the brain. So the part of the photoreceptor that absorbs light will be taking this light energy into electrical energy through the outer segment to the unified cilia that contains discs filled with the opsin, the molecule segment or it is there in the outer segment. This is the mitochondria which provides energy, ATP. This is the inner segment where mitochondria is there. If you come to the cone cell this side, you have synaptic terminal that forms a synapse with the neuron. Nucleus is there, mitochondria is there. This is the inner segment where mitochondria is there, which provides ATP. Outer segment is cone shaped. That is invaginations of cell membranes that form a stack. See that stack of membranous discs where photopigments are there. Here you have a photopigment called rhodopsin in rod cell. Here you have another photopigment. They are called iodopsins. So these photopigments exist as transmembrane proteins. So the process of phototransduction. What is phototransduction? The light energy comes from the eye lens, which falls on the retina. Then it comes to the rod and cone cell layer, where the outer segment of the rod and cone cells, they are having photopigments. These photopigments will convert the light energy into electrical energy. So this process is called phototransduction. Photon energy is converted into electrical energy. That is the thermodynamics law. One form of energy is converted into another form of energy. So that process is called photoreduction process. This photoreduction process occurs in the retina, especially in the rod and cone cells. So the retina has many layers of various cell types. Already we have seen. So the most numerous photoreceptor cells are rods and cone cells only. They form the outermost layer of the retina. So these are the photoreceptors. They are responsible for mediating the sense sight. So the middle retinal layer, which contains bipolar cells, that is below the rod and cone cell, you have bipolar cells. Already we have seen in the picture. They collect signals from the photoreceptors and they transmit them to the retinal ganglion cells of the innermost retinal layer. So this retinal ganglion cell axons mean tail region of the cells. They collectively form the optic nerve. They form the optic nerve. This optic nerve goes to the brain center, via which they project the signal to the brain center. So this signal transduction pathway, it is the mechanism. This is the photoreceptor mechanism by which the energy of a photon signal, that photon means light energy signals, it signals a mechanism in the cell that leads to its electrical polarization. That is, photon is light energy that is converted into electrical energy. This is called electrical polarization. So this polarization ultimately leads to either the transmittance or inhibition of a neuronal signal that will be fed into the brain center, vision center of the brain via the optic nerve. So all these steps are done through this signal transduction pathway. So these steps are this signal transduction pathway in the vertebrate eyes, that's in our eye. Eyes, rod cell and cone cell photoreceptors are very, very sequential steps. One after the other it takes place. That is why it is called sequential steps. Now we come to the photopigments of the rod cells and cone cells. So these photopigments are actually responsible for converting the photon, that is light energy, into electrical energy. That is, the thermodynamics law is applied only here in these photopigments. Where are these photopigments located? They are located in the outer segment of the rod cells and cone cells into the racks of the rods and cone cells. They are called photopigments. So the photopigments which is present in the rod cell is called rhodopsin. The photopigment which is present in the cone cell is called iodopsin. So both are photopigments. So the rhodopsin or the iodopsin in the disc membrane of the outer segment of the both rod and cone cells, they absorb a photon, that is light energy, changing the configuration of a retinal skip-based cofactor inside the protein from the cis form to the trans form, causing the retinal cell to change its shape. So this results in a series of unstable intermediate biochemical pathways. So the last of which binds stronger to a G-coupled protein, G protein, in the membrane called transducin membrane. That is called a transducin, and this transducin is activated by this G protein complex. So this is the first amplification step which happens in the photopigment area. Each photoactivator rhodopsin now triggers activation of about 100 transducins simultaneously, sequentially. So amplification of this region takes place. So each transfusion then activates the enzyme called CGMP, specific phosphodiesterase enzyme, PDE, phosphodiesterase. This PDE then catalyzes the hydrolysis of this CGMP, cyclic GMP, to 5' GMP. So this is the second amplification step in this photoreceptor mechanism, where a single PDE, that is phosphodiesterase enzyme, hydrolyzes about 1000 molecules of CGMP. So the net concentration of intracellular this CGMP is reduced because it is converted into 5' GMP via this enzyme action PDE, resulting in the closure of cyclic nucleotide gated sodium ion channels located in the photoreceptor outer segment membrane of the rod and cone cells. So that mechanism is here in the picture. This is the rod cell. Light comes from here and it goes to the outer segment where photopigment rhodopsin is activated. See that this is the enlarged portion of this outer segment. You have discs here. Inside the discs you have pigments, rhodopsin molecules. These are all rhodopsin molecules. So this rhodopsin molecule is triggered here by the photon, light energy. So this is converted into 11-trans-retinal. The bio leaching happens here. So 11-trans-retinal is converted to 11-trans-retinol. The enzyme is PDE, where ATP is utilized, and this 11-trans-retinal is converted into 11-cis-retinal by the enzyme. And this protein opsin is removed. Only this molecule goes. This molecule, 11-trans-retinal, that is converted into 11-cis-retinal. This is protein is called opsin. Opsin comes again here, where you see the 11-cis-retinal is regeneration process. It is regenerated. Now it combines with again opsin protein. It will give 11-cis-retinal and opsin are reassembled to form rhodopsin. Again rhodopsin comes here. It is a cyclic process, visual cycling. See that this is the structure of all-trans-retinal. That is converted into, that is 11-trans is nothing but all-trans-retinal, converted into 11-cis-retinal. This structure. See the structure, only here the changes comes. All-trans to 11-cis. This is how light energy is converted into electrical energy. Inside this outer segment of the rod. Same thing happens in cone cells also.